On the evening of March 14, 2009, a woman returned to her apartment in a mid-sized city after her shift at a diner. She lived on the third floor of a building that housed 8 units. She had lived there for 11 months. She unlocked her door at approximately 10:47 p.m. She placed her keys on the counter. She turned on the kitchen light. She noticed her bedroom door was open. She had closed it that morning. She walked to the bedroom. The window was locked from the inside. Nothing appeared missing. Her jewelry box sat undisturbed on the dresser. Her laptop remained on the desk. She called the building manager. He arrived within 20 minutes. He inspected the locks. He found no signs of forced entry. He suggested she may have forgotten to close the door. She did not argue. That night, she slept with the lights on. 3 days later, she found a receipt on her kitchen table. It was from a hardware store 6 blocks away. The date was March 14th. The time was 3:22 p.m. She had been at work. The receipt was for a door lock and a key copy. She had not made the purchase. She filed a report with the local police department on March 18th. An officer took her statement. He noted the details. He explained that without evidence of theft or damage, there was little they could pursue. He advised her to change her locks. She changed them the following day. On March 23rd, she returned home from work. The new lock turned smoothly. She entered the apartment. The air felt different. She could not identify why. She walked through each room. Nothing was out of place. She checked the windows. All were locked. She checked the closets. They were empty, except for her belongings. In the bathroom, she found a towel folded on the edge of the tub. She had not folded it. She had left it hanging that morning. She called a friend. The friend came over and stayed the night. The next morning, the friend left for work. The woman stayed home. She had requested the day off. She sat in the living room and watched the door. At 1:15 p.m., she heard a sound in the hallway. Footsteps. They stopped outside her door. She waited. The footsteps continued past her apartment. She heard a door open and close 2 units down. She did not leave the apartment that day. On March 27th, she installed a camera above her front door. It was motion activated. It recorded to a memory card. She checked the footage each evening after work. For 5 days, the camera showed nothing unusual. Neighbors passed by. A delivery person left a package at another door. The hallway remained empty for hours at a time. On April 2nd, she reviewed the footage from the previous night. At 2:41 a.m., a figure appeared in the frame. The person stood outside her door for 16 seconds. They did not knock. They did not try the handle. They stood completely still. The hallway light was dim. The figure wore dark clothing. No face was visible. At 2:42 a.m., the figure walked out of frame toward the stairwell. She saved the footage. She contacted the police again. A different officer responded. He reviewed the recording. He noted that no crime had occurred. Standing in a hallway was not illegal. He suggested she speak with her building manager about improving hallway lighting. She asked if they could identify the person. He said the footage was too dark. He said there was nothing further they could do. She asked the building manager to check the security logs. The building had a locked entrance. Residents used key fobs to enter. The manager reviewed the records. Between midnight and 3 a.m. on April 2nd, 4 residents had entered the building. All were accounted for. All lived in the building. She asked for their names. He said he could not provide that information. On April 8th, she found a note slid under her door. It was written on unlined paper in blue ink. The handwriting was neat. It said, "You left your window open yesterday?" She had not left any window open. She checked every window in the apartment. All were locked. She kept the note. She placed it in a plastic bag. She brought it to the police station. The officer on duty took the note. He filed it with her previous report. He told her to call if anything else happened. Nothing else happened for 2 weeks. On April 24th, she woke at 3 a.m. to the sound of her front door closing. She had locked it before bed. She got up and checked. The door was closed. The deadbolt was engaged. The chain was latched. She reviewed the camera footage the next morning. At 2:58 a.m., her door opened from the inside. It opened slowly. No one was visible in the frame. The door remained open for 4 seconds. Then it closed. She could not explain it. The door had been locked. The footage showed it opening on its own. She called a locksmith. He examined the door and the lock. He found nothing wrong. He suggested the building may have settled, causing the door to shift. He said it was unlikely but possible. She did not believe him. She began sleeping at her friend's apartment. She returned to her own apartment only to collect clothing and check the camera. The footage showed nothing. The hallway remained empty. Her door stayed closed. On May 9th, she ended her lease early. She paid the penalty fee. She moved to a different building across town. She did not tell her neighbors she was leaving. The building manager asked why she was moving. She said she needed a change. He did not press further. She took the camera with her. She took the note. She took the receipt. She left the furniture. In moments like these, personal safety becomes more than a concern. It becomes a priority. Home security systems have evolved significantly since 2009. Modern technology offers motion sensors, real-time alerts, and cloud storage that keeps footage accessible indefinitely. Smart locks can notify you of every entry. Door sensors can detect even the slightest movement. These tools provide documentation, clarity, and most importantly, peace of mind. Whether you live alone or with family, whether you rent or own, securing your space is no longer optional. It is essential. Protection starts with awareness. Awareness starts with the right tools. The police report was filed as a series of suspicious incidents. No charges were made. No suspect was identified. The case was closed on May 15, 2009. The apartment was rented to a new tenant in June. They reported no unusual activity. The woman did not return to that part of the city. She did not speak publicly about what happened. When asked by friends, she said only that the apartment had not felt right. The footage from the camera was kept in evidence for 6 months, then deleted per department policy. The note and receipt were stored in a case file. The file was transferred to archives in 2011. No further reports were made.